Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friend. Today's topic is career. How to effectively make use of Jyotish to get success in job interviews, to get success with our career growth, job or starting up a new business or a business growth kind of scenario, or to save ourselves from politics, groupism. So everything can be done effectively using simple technique of Vedic Jyotish. And this is what I'm going to discuss with all of you in today's video. Let us do the mantras quickly. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Vyam Ved Vyasaya Namah Om Guruve Namah. Fabulous. First of all, a very happy and prosperous Deepavali to all of you and your loved ones. Before I start talking about career, before that, let me express my gratitude to you for your response to Jyotish fundamentals. Jyotish fundamentals, thank you very much for your overwhelming response. We are going to start the course from 1st of November. You can see the course content on your screen. There's a lot to do for us to cover in these 6 months. There'll be a lot of applications of concepts, a lot of exercises, a lot of interactive discussions, a lot of Q&A, and much more. By the end of this course, you will see yourself as an astrologer. Not only you will be equipped to analyze your individual horoscopes, but of your loved ones too. So effectively, you are going to be famous. The course is going to begin from 1st of November. And for any reason, if you're not aware or you could not be a part of this journey so far, you can still be a part of this Jyotish experience. The details are in the description box of this video. Hope to see you there. How is your career? See, this is the time of Deepavali, time of prosperity. And how does prosperity come? Through our work, through karma, through 10th house. Career, that's why this video on career. Okay, so how is your career? If you have been facing issues in making a move in your career, like your luck is not supporting you to crack job interviews, or even in receiving the call for the prospective job openings, you are finding it difficult to start up a business, you're facing kind of stagnation in your career, at your job, at your business, you're finding it difficult to be a part of job or workplace groups. It is not easy sometimes to be a part of group. You face a bit of politics around you. If you are facing one of these issues or more than one of such issues, then you can effectively use simple techniques of Vedic Jyotish to get some support for you. Okay, and I am going to talk about each and every ascendant individually, and will tell you how is the current structure vis-a-vis your ascendant, where are the good things and where is the challenge, and what you need to do to get through with these challenges. Okay, so here we go with the ascendants. Aries ascendant. So how is your career? How do you work? You put in a lot of efforts in your work. Everyone does that. But you are required to put in a lot of efforts. Why? You are Aries ascendant, lorded by Mars. Why I'm talking about you putting in effort? Look at the 10th house, my friend. Capricorn. Who is the lord of 10th house? Saturn. Though you are Aries ascendant, but when it comes to work, you will be driven by Saturn. And that's where you are required to put in a lot of efforts. Did you realize it that way? Okay. You just cannot sit idle when it comes to work. You have to be engaged. Saturn is hardworking, disciplinarian. And you are a people's person. You support and encourage others. That's a wonderful thing. How is the relationship between your Lagna Lord, Mars, and your 10th Lord, Saturn? Mars considers Saturn as neutral. So but Saturn considers Mars as enemy. So it's an inimical relationship. What does that mean? It is a Cold War kind of a situation. While you, as a Lagna Lord is you are considering your 10th Lord, Saturn, as neutral. So you are kind of creating a good open environment for your 10th Lord to operate. You're kind of neutral, okay. But your 10th Lord, Saturn, is not supportive or conducive for you to give you that kind of confidence that your work, your career is going fine. All the time it will create some sort of doubts in your mind because the relationship it considers as inimical. On top of that, my friend, Saturn is your Badhakesh for Aries Lagna. 11th house, which is Aquarius, is the Badhak Rashi. The Lord of Aquarius is also Saturn. So while Saturn considers your Lagna Lord or you as an enemy, it is a Badhak Lord as well. So it is causing a lot of obstructions in your career success. No doubt, the planetary positions of your natal horoscope does play a part. The ongoing dasha does play a part. Bearing all these things, you also need to look at how is your Lagna Lord Mars and 10th Lord Saturn are placed in your horoscope. If you don't even look at all the planets, what is their mutual axis? Is it a Kendra or Trine axis? Fine. Is it a 6-8 Krishdaya axis? 6-8-12? This kind of axis? A bit more trouble. So what you need to do? Now you see how your career or work is functioning. Before you apply for a new job, before you start opening a new business, a new venture, before you go for an interview call, before you get into any discussion pertaining to your career appraisal or some important discussion respect to business, any important activity related to your career, you have to pray to Shani Dev. You don't need to go into mantras kind of thing. Just simple folding of your hand, closing your eyes, with devotion. You remember Shani Dev and pray for his blessings. If Shani Dev is appeased, the obstructions will go away. Why do you need to pray to Shani Dev? If you want your 10th house to start favoring you, to start supporting you, if you want your luck to start working in your favor vis-a-vis your career, you have to worship Shani Dev before you do any work related activity, at least any important work related activity, and see how things change. All right, best wishes. Taurus ascendant. So my friend, how is your career? How do you work? Do you put in a lot of hard work into your work? Why? You are a Taurus Lagna person. You are a hard-working person because of Taurus Lagna. That's true. But this hard work at work is coming from your 10th house. Which is your 10th house? Aquarius. Who is the Lord of Aquarius? Saturn. So when it comes to work, you are required to put in a lot of hard work. Otherwise, you'll not feel satisfied or contented with yourself. You have some expectations and you have to achieve those expectations. Now, the beauty about you, it is not only about hard work, it is about smart work. You are extremely capable to strategize the work and then put in smart work. And you're a very capable person when it comes to planning. Rather, you plan yourself so well, much in advance, so that you know how to allocate the work responsibility, how to manage work myself, and get it done properly to your contentment. If work is not done as per your expectation, you will not feel happy. That's the specific trait of 10th house falling in Aquarius. How is the relationship between your Lagna Lord, your Taurus Lagna, Venus Lagna Lord, and 10th Lord Saturn? While Venus considers Saturn as friend, that is good. Saturn also considers Venus as friend. So it's a mutual friendly relationship. Excellent. Excellent relationship. So that actually helps you at your work front. Your 10th So while you are considering you as Lagna Lord, Venus, Lagna Lord is you. You are considering your 10th Lord, Saturn, as friend. What does that mean? It means you are giving room, a lot of space for your 10th house or your 10th Lord to prosper and develop. You are accommodative when it comes to work. You're giving space. At the same time, your 10th Lord is friendly to you, to your Lagna Lord. Your 10th Lord is also supportive enough to make you feel confident. If you are feeling, no, I'm not that confident, things are not working properly, let me also tell you one more thing, the challenge from where it is coming. From your Badhaka sign. Your 9th house falling in Capricorn. So, Lord of Capricorn is Saturn. Saturn becomes your Badhak Rashi Lord or Badhakesh. So, while Saturn is your 10th Lord and supporting your Lagna Lord for your career, as a Badhakesh, it is causing obstructions at times. That's a difficult situation. That's a catch-22 situation. Where's the solution? I'll give you the solution, which is inbuilt in your ascendant sign. Saturn is also your Yoga Karak. It is your 9th Lord and 10th Lord. It is mutual Lord of a Kona and Kendra. So while as a Badhakesh, it is causing obstructions at different points in time, as a Yoga Karak, it is resolving those obstructions or rather blessing you. So Saturn is reasonably okay, well placed, as long as you continue to work, because Saturn requires you to work, to be honest in your dealing, to be transparent, and to continue to pay taxes. The moment you start to fudge income tax returns, like putting in some incorrect rent receipts as an example, or building in some fictitious expenditure in your profits from business or gains from professions, then Saturn will start to act as Badhakesh. As long as you are honest and transparent in all your business dealings, Saturn will act as your Yogakaraka planet. See the magic? Now, I understand that planets of your natal chart does play a part. Yeah, absolutely. Your ongoing dasha also play a part. Agree. But at a generic level, this is the result you can expect. And can you do work from home? Will that support you? Absolutely. For a Taurus Lagna person, vis-a-vis your 10th house positioning, work from home will support you. So if you get an opportunity to work from home, you must accept it. And you also need to look at the mutual axis of your Lagna Lord Venus with 10th Lord Saturn. How is Venus and Saturn are mutually placed in your natal horoscope? If they are conjoined, or if they are in a Kendra position to each other, or in Kona position to each other, it is supportive. If they are in 6 and 12 position to each other, a bit of problem. Now what to do? How to ensure that luck favors you? Before you apply for a new job, before you take some step to initiate a new venture, before you get into any interview call, before you get into any important discussion, as in discussion related to your appraisal, any important work pertaining to your career, before you start or do that, you have to pray to Sri Venkateshwara. With any mantra? Not necessarily. If you know some mantras, great. Otherwise, simply fold your hands, close your eyes, think about Sri Venkateshwara, ask for his blessings with devotion. Why to do that? If you want your 10th Lord to favor you, if you want your career to support you, if you want luck to favor you in all these activities, you have to do that. And if you do that, if you please Sri Venkateshwara, things will start to work in your favor in your career related matters. Okay? Best wishes. Gemini Ascendant, how is your career? How do you work? You work with a vision. There's a lot of knowledge the way you work actually. You bring a lot of knowledge to your work. A lot of wisdom is there in your attitude. Not only you are able to manage your work, you rather give advice or suggestions to people around you also at work. Why is that so? You are a Gemini Lagna person. Your Lagna Lord is Mercury. Is it because of Mercury I'm talking about knowledge? No. Look at the 10th house, which is Pisces. The Lord of Pisces is Jupiter. That's where, when it comes to work, I'm talking about a lot of wisdom and vision. But at times, you feel a bit impulsive and can make some decisions because of improper planning, because of some chaotic thought process. That's where you struggle a bit. Now, how is your relationship with your Lagna Lord, or relationship between your Lagna Lord, which is Mercury, and your 10th Lord, Jupiter? While Mercury considers Jupiter as neutral, Jupiter considers Mercury as enemy. That's an inimical relationship. It is like a Cold War situation. While you as a Lagna Lord, because when Venus is considering Jupiter neutral, it means who is Venus? Your Lagna Lord. Lagna Lord is you. You are considering your 10th house Lord neutral. It means you're giving some room for your career to develop and prosper. Some room you're giving. Okay? But your career, your 10th Lord, is considering you as enemy. So it is causing a bit of challenge, a bit of problem. It is not supporting you to an extent of making you feel confident enough of your career. You always feel, regardless of your career growth or progression, you always feel there can be some challenges to my career. You never feel confident because your 10th Lord is considering you as an enemy. On top of that, Jupiter is also your Badhakesh, because for Gemini ascendant person, 7th sign is Sagittarius. That is your Badhak Rashi. And who is the Lord of Sagittarius? Jupiter. So Jupiter not only is considering you as an enemy, being a 10th Lord, being 7th Lord, it is also causing obstruction to your career or to your life in general as a Badhakesh. And we consider Jupiter as a benefic planet. Not for you, my friend. That's why when you went through my Jupiter video, Jupiter transit video, when Jupiter has been transiting in Gemini over your ascendant, I always tell you, this is the time for you to build your foundation, not to look for a change, because your Badhakesha is transiting your ascendant. And when Jupiter is going to move to Cancer now, soon, it is going to benefit you at your work front. Badhakesha is out of your career, out of your Lagna. Do you see the connection? All right. Now, should you consider work from home as an option, given a chance? Absolutely yes. Given a chance, work from home will benefit you and your career. I agree that planetary positions and ongoing dasha does play a part, no doubt. But even without going to all the planets of your natal horoscope, if you barely look at your Lagna Lord, which is Mercury, and its relationship with your 10th Lord, which is Jupiter, how is Mercury and Jupiter are placed in your natal horoscope? If they are placed in mutual kendras or kona, it is a good placement. If they are placed in 6, 8, 12 to each other, it is a bit of challenge. Further challenge to what we are discussing. So what to do? How do you ensure that your luck supports you for your career? So before you get into any interview call, or rather before you even apply for a new job, before you take any actions to start a new venture or a business, before you get into any important career-related discussion like an appraisal discussion with your supervisor, before you take any important decision related to your career, any kind of decision which is important and material, you need to pray to Lord Shiva. Why? You need to appease Lord Shiva so that Jupiter will stop acting as your Badhakesh. It will start favoring you. That is what you are asking for from Lord Shiva. And how to pray? With any specific mantra? Not necessarily. If you know any mantra for yourself, because mantras are defined basis individual charts. Mantras cannot be defined at a general level unless they are Prasiddha mantras. So I am trying to be as specific as possible. So what you have to do, If you know of any specific mantra applicable to your chart, use that mantra. Otherwise, just fold your hand, close your eyes, think about Lord Shiva, ask for his blessings. Devotion is ultimate thing here. With your devotion, you can actually appease Lord Shiva. Okay? Best wishes. Cancer ascendant. So my friend, how do you work? How is your career? Well, do you put in a lot of efforts when it comes to work? You bring in a lot of firepower to your work. You ensure nobody can take you for granted when it comes to work. Hey, you're Cancer Lagna, full of Jala Tattva and emotions. And I'm talking about fire. Why? Aren't you governed by Moon, who is your Lagna Lord? Yes, you are. But when it comes to career, the way you behave at workplace, you have to look at the 10th house, which is Aries. And who is the Lord of Aries? Mars, Mangal. You actually are capable enough to structure your work with some clear logic. You can really prioritize the work very, very clearly in a logical way. That's a great thing. You also need to look at the relationship between Moon and Mars. Why? Because Moon is your Lagna Lord and Mars is your 10th Lord. Moon considers Mars as neutral. For Moon, there is no enemy. And Mars considers Moon as friend. So it is a friendly relationship. That is excellent. So while Moon, which is your Lagna Lord, which is you, so you are considering Mars as neutral, so you are giving some room for your 10th house or your career to prosper. You are considering it neutral. But Mars, your 10th Lord, is considering Moon as friend. It means your career Lord, your work is actually supporting you in such a way that you feel confident. You feel assured that yes, I am contributing well enough at my workplace and I am secure. You are sure of your capabilities. You are sure of your approach to work. You are sure that your contribution is enough to make you feel secure. That's amazing. And in case you feel, no, it is not the case with me, I'll tell the challenges also. Hold on. Let me also add why Mars being a natural malefic, why are we so sure it is supporting you when it comes to career? No doubt it is a natural malefic. But for you, my friend, for Cancer Ascendant, it is also your Yogakaraka planet. It is a lord of your 5th house as well as your 10th house. So it is the mutual lord of Kendra as well as Kona. So a Yogakaraka planet definitely blesses you. On top of that, now the next thing I'm going to say is applicable only for 2 ascendants out of 12 ascendants. And one of those 2 is Cancer. So from your 10th house, Aries, count the houses in between your Lagna. 11th house, let's start from 10th house. 10th house, 11th house, 12th house and 1st house. You reach Lagna, you counted 4. Mars is your 10th Lord. So put Mars in Aries and Lagna is 4th from Aries. Cancer is 4th from Aries. Mars has the 4th Drishti. Mars aspect 4th house, 7th house and 8th house. So that way Mars also protect your Lagna, being a 10th Lord. So when it comes to career, Mars will give you enough firepower, enough logic, enough reasoning capability. You will be able to protect your career. No doubt that your planetary position in your natal horoscope and your own moon dasha does play a part. No doubt. But even if you are not evaluating everything, merely if you look at the mutual relationship between your Lagna Lord, which is Moon, and your 10th Lord Mars, how Moon and Mars are placed in your natal horoscope. Are they mutual trines, mutual kendra to each other? Excellent. That will further add on to the nice situations we have been talking about so far. But if they are in 6, 8, 12 positioning to each other, a bit of challenges. What you need to do to ensure that your luck starts to favor you. So before you get into any call, any important call related to your career, let's say you are going to discuss your appraisal with your supervisor, or let's say you want to change your job and you're applying for a new job. Before you apply for a new job, before you start your interview discussion, before you actually do any critical work related to your career, you need to pray to Durga Mata, Goddess Durga. Any mantra required? If you know of any specific mantra which is applicable to your natal chart, great, you can use that. Otherwise, simply fold hand, close your eyes, think about Durga Mata. Seek for her blessings. With devotion, you can get the blessings which can help you get through all these challenges. If you're facing any challenges in your career, even if you're not facing those kind of challenges at a higher level, always remember Mars is your natural malefic planet as 10th Lord. And in everybody's horoscope, there will be some associations which are adversely aspecting your 10th house. So regardless of the good relationship or being a Yoga-karak planet or positively aspecting your Lagna, there can be some challenges coming. So you need to ensure that you seek the blessings of Goddess Durga and try to get through with the problems and try to activate your 10th house, your luck in your favor. Okay? Best wishes. Leo Ascendant. So my friend, how is your career? How do you work? How is your approach at work? You're very emotional at work. You're very protective when it comes to work. Hey, you are Leo Ascendant person governed by Surya. And I'm talking about emotions, Jatattva, protection. When it comes to career, you need to look at the 10th house, which is Taurus. So the way you behave at your workplace is a bit different from your ascendant energies. So basically, when it comes to work, connections are very important for you. You are a people's person. You are a people person at heart. When you are in your individual life, you are a solo traveler. Then you're Surya. But when you go to work, you become a people person. You are very collaborative. You work in collaboration. You're fine to connect with people. That's the attribute of your personality. And if there's some hindrance, it means there's a challenge in your natal horoscope. Okay, let us evaluate the relationship between your Lagna Lord, Sun, and your 10th Lord, Venus. Sun considers Venus as enemy. And Venus considers Sun as enemy too. It's a mutual inimical relationship which is not supporting your career, my friend. Is it a Cold War kind of a situation? No. It is an open war. While you are holding a gun against your 10th Lord, you are not creating a congenial environment for your career to prosper. Your own action, Lagna Lord is you, are such. If you look at your life in the past, your own actions have been such which have not been extremely supportive of your career because it is inimical relationship. Your career as well is not very conducive to give you that kind of confidence, that kind of support that you feel, yeah, I am assured of my career, it is going fine, I am confident. No. Mutual inimical relationship, which is not very conducive. It is like as if you want to overpower your 10th Lord. So you means Sun. How can Sun overpower Venus, your 10th Lord? By eclipsing Venus. Combustion. So it is not a good situation for your career to flourish. Venus cannot be combusted. If Venus is combust in your horoscope on top of this, if you're a Leo Lagna person, and if Venus is combust in your horoscope, it is your 10th Lord. Don't forget that. While the relationship with your Lagna Lord is mutually inimical, it is actually combust in your horoscope, then it can add to complexities. If I add another complexity before I talk about the solution to this problem, see, for you, Mars is also adding another layer of complexity. I no doubt Mars is a natural malefic planet. But for you, my friend, Mars is your Badhakesh, ninth lord. Your ninth house is Aries. Ninth lord is Mars. So Mars is adding another level of problem. But the good news, Mars is also a yoga-karak planet for you. Because in addition to being a ninth lord, Mars is also a fourth lord. So it is a mutual lord of Kendra and Kona. So Mars will not harm you or cause obstruction to your career. If it will also start to function as a natural yoga-karak too. Alright, you also need to evaluate the planetary position in natal horoscope. Look at the dasha, that's fine. But even without going to that finer level of details, if you only evaluate the mutual relationship between your Lagna Lord, Sun, and 10th Lord Mars in your natal horoscope, see how your natal Surya and natal Mars, natal Mangal, are posited in relation to each other in your natal horoscope. Are they in mutual Kendra or Kona? Excellent. Excellent. Are they in mutual 6 at 12 position? A bit of a challenge. See, let us not even go to that extent. At a simple level, if you want, what is the takeaway from this video? If you want your luck to favor you when it comes to career, you have to do a simple thing. Before you, let's say, apply for a job on a portal, before you even get into any interview discussion, before you initiate any new venture, new business, before you get into any important discussion, any strategic discussion, as an example, appraisal related discussion, some strategic discussion with some shareholders, any important discussion or work pertaining to your career, before you do that, you need to pray to Shri Krishna. Why? If you pray to Shri Krishna, then your luck will favor you pertaining to your career. The challenges, the obstructions, the inimical relationship, things will be smoothened out. So do that. Okay? Best wishes. Virgo ascendant. My friend, how is your situation at your workplace? How do you work? Do you work with a friendly mindset? Do you work with dedication? But once a thing or piece of work is over, you need a break. Then your focus is not unidirectional. Is that how you work? Your case is quite unique. See, your Virgo Lagna, your Lagna Lord is Mercury. And which is the 10th sign? Gemini. Who is the 10th Lord? Again Mercury. So your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord are same. When we evaluate the relationship between Lagna Lord and 10th Lord, in your case, both are same. So it is an excellent tied-in relationship. It's a great situation. So we can call it as an immersive experience. When you are doing some activity, not only you will bring a lot of knowledge, you will be fully immersed. But once that piece is over, you will require some break. You need to crack jokes, you need to talk to your friends, you need to read something, get some further knowledge, build on your knowledge. But you are quite immersive at your work. Work is very, very important for you because your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord is same and common planet, Mercury. Now, you may say if relationship is very good, then why are you facing a bit of challenges? Right. No doubt, individual planets, natal positioning of planet is quite important. Ongoing dasha is important. A lot of other things are important. Transit is important. But we are not looking at everything at this point in time. We are not talking about your natal horoscope at this point in time. The thing is, the problem is coming from Jupiter. We consider Jupiter as a natural benefic planet. Yes, Jupiter is. But for you, my friend, Jupiter is your 7th Lord. Your 7th house is your Badhak Sthan. Pisces. The Lord of Pisces is Jupiter. So Jupiter can actually bring quite a bit of obstructions in your life and also in your career, because Pisces sign is aspecting your 10th house. Gemini, obviously there have to be some planets, but they are all dual signs. So that's where challenge is coming from. Now, on top of this, if you really want to get into your natal horoscope, you can evaluate the mutual relationship between your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord. But in your case, it is Mercury. So you need to see, where is Mercury placed? Is it retrograde, combust? Is it in 6, 8, 12 houses? Then your workplace can get impacted. If it is not retrograde, it is not combust. If it is in good houses, it is better for your career. Right? But what is the takeaway from this video? Well, if you want your luck to favor you when it comes to career, before you, let's say, apply for a new job, before you start with a new venture, before you even go to attend any interview call, before you go for any important discussion like appraisal discussion or any strategic discussion like engagement with shareholder or some senior partners, nutshell, before you start or activate any critical work pertaining to your career, you need to pray to Lord Shiva. With any mantra. If you know of any mantra specific to your natal horoscope, use that. Otherwise, just fold your hand, close your eyes, think of Lord Shiva, ask for his blessings. Shiva's blessing can ensure that the obstructions to your career-related problems will go away. All right? Best wishes. Libra ascendant. So my friend, how do you work? How is your approach when you are at workplace? Do you work with an open mind? Are you quite collaborative at workplace? You put in a lot of hard work? You are quite supportive and encouraging to others? But at times you are moody. If you don't feel like doing work, you will say no. You are a Libra ascendant person, lorded by Venus, and I'm talking about quite different attributes. Which is your 10th house? Cancer. Who is the lord of Cancer? Moon. So when it comes to the attributes pertaining to your work, we have to look at the 10th lord more. Okay? And how is the relationship between your Lagna Lord Venus versus 10th Lord Moon? While Venus considers Moon as enemy, Moon considers Venus as neutral. Because for Moon, there is no enemy. So the mutual relationship is inimical, which is kind of a Cold War situation. So while you as a Lagna Lord, Venus, Lagna Lord is you are looking at your 10th house or 10th Lord of your career in a very inimical way. So you're not giving your career enough room to prosper. If you look at your life, you might have taken some actions which would not have been supportive for your career. But on the other hand, your 10th Lord, your career Lord, is neutral. It is kind of okay. It is saying, yeah, you can feel confident at times, you can feel a bit troublesome, but I am okay. I am okay as long as giving you comfort is concerned. Okay. Now, the other angle, you also need to look at your 11th house. 11th house is Leo, the Lord is Sun, because for you, 11th Lord is Bhadikesh. That is causing obstructions to your career, to your life at different junctures. So basically, you are facing challenges from different directions, from the mutual enmity between your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord, and from the Bhadikesh also. It is important to evaluate the natal horoscope, the planetary position, the dasha, etc. That's fine. But at least if you look at one simple thing, you look at how in your natal horoscope, how Venus and Moon are placed from each other, because they are your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord. Are they conjunct? Are they in mutual kendras? Are they in mutual konas? Excellent. They will support you and your career. If they are in 6, 8, 12 position from each other, troublesome. But what is the takeaway from this video? Let me tell you a simple solution. How you can activate luck when it comes to your career related things. Before you do any important activity pertaining to your career, like before you even apply for a new job, before you start a new venture, before you get into any important discussion like interview call, appraisal discussion, discussion with your partners, some strategic stakeholder meeting, before you take any important action pertaining to your career, you need to do two things. First, you need to pray to Shri Krishna, and also you need to pray to Shri Ram. Simple mantra. If you're aware of some mantras basis your natal horoscope, fantastic. Otherwise, close your eyes, fold your hands, think about Shri Krishna, Shri Rama, Vishnu Avatar. Ask for their blessings. Any blessing asked with devotion will come to you. And this will remove the challenges, this will remove the obstructions in your career, and everything will start to support you. Your luck will start favoring you in your career related activities. All right? Best wishes. Scorpio ascendant. So how do you work, my friend? You like to work at your own terms, like you own the work, like a king, a queen. For you, commitment is very important. Why I'm saying all this? You're a Scorpio ascendant person, lorded by Mars, but look at the 10th house. It is Leo sign, and the lord of Leo is Sun. So authority, power is very important for you. You like to work with the command, the authority. Now, how is the relationship between your Lagna Lord Mars and 10th Lord Sun? Mars considers Sun as a friend, and Sun considers Mars as a friend as well. That's a wonderful relationship. It's a mutually friendly relationship. So while you as a Lagna Lord is supporting your career, your 10th Lord, Surya, at the same time, your 10th Lord, your career, is also giving you enough support so that you feel confident. But you may say, okay, no, I have a lot of issues at my career, XYZ. That's fine. That's not because of the mutual relationship between your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord. It is friendly. That, obviously, we have to also look at the planetary position in our natal horoscope, ongoing dasha, ongoing transit, everything matters. But at this generic level, the main problem is caused by Moon. Moon is your 9th Lord. Your 9th house is Cancer. The Lord of Cancer is Moon. And that is your Badhakesh. That is causing problem in your career, in your life in general as well. It is causing obstructions at your workplace, in your career. So also, you can do one thing. You can look at your natal chart and see how your Mars and Sun, your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord, in your natal horoscope, how they are placed. Are they conjunct? Are they mutual kendra to each other? Mutual kona to each other? Trines? Excellent. Or are they in 6, 8, 12 to each other? That is a challenge area. Even if you don't want to look at all these things, what is your takeaway from this video? That is a question you can ask, right? So the simple takeaway which you can have is how to ensure that your luck start to favor you in your career related matters. So before you do any action or activity pertaining to your career, like before you even apply for a new job, before you start an activity which is related to your new engagement, new business, new venture, before you get into a discussion which is important for your career, like appraisal discussion with some stakeholders, some senior partners, any critical activity pertaining to your career, before you do that, you pray to Goddess Durga Mata. You don't need to have any mantra unless you have visibility of specific mantra applicable to your natal horoscope. You can apply that. Otherwise, simply fold your hands, close your eyes, think about Durga Mata, seek for her blessings. With devotion, you can get the blessings. And her blessings can remove the obstructions from your horoscope pertaining to your career. Your luck can start to favor you more when it comes to your work-related activities. All right? So, best wishes. Sagittarius ascendant. My friend, how is your work? How are you at your career? You are a strategist. You are a person who can manage the team really well, who can command others really well. You're very smart when it comes to work. And at the same time, you're quite friendly with others. A person who can gel with others really easily, comfortably. Hey, you are a Sagittarius ascendant person lorded by Jupiter. And I'm talking about different things. When it comes to career, you need to look at your 10th house, which is Virgo. And Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Okay? Now, the next step is you need to look at the relationship between Jupiter and Mercury. Why? Because Jupiter is your Lagna Lord and Mercury is your 10th Lord. While Jupiter considers Mercury as enemy. Oops. But Mercury considers Jupiter as neutral. So mutually the relationship is inimical. So it is kind of a Cold War situation. Wherein Lagna Lord, that is you are not giving enough room for your career to prosper. You look at your life, your own actions must have been such as not fully supportive to your career. Because you think your career, your 10th Lord, as enemy. Whereas your career Lord, Mercury, is treating you or your Lagna Lord as neutral, giving you enough or okay kind of comfort or confidence when it comes to your career. Your career Lord is like, okay, you're neutral, whether you feel okay or you feel a bit up and down, I'm okay, but I'm not troubling you, I'm not supporting you beyond a point. So the problem lies in your individual actions. And see, also, it is not only this. If you look at your 7th house, which is Gemini, for a Sagittarius Lagna person, 7th house is Badhak Sthan. So the Lord of Gemini is again Mercury. So Mercury becomes your Badhak Lord, Badhakesh. So not only Mercury as 10th Lord is engaging with you as an inimical relationship, as a Badhak Lord, it is causing obstructions in your life and also in your career. So whenever Mercury will transit through your 10th house, through Virgo sign, you will see a bit of challenge at that point in time. And we have to find the solution for this. Before I talk about other things, if you get an opportunity to work from home, shall you accept it? Yes, you should. Because that can actually help you to a certain extent. It will help you, no doubt. And it is again important to analyze your natal horoscope, look at the planetary positions, dasha, ongoing transit, everything is important. It will color the way your career will flourish for you. But the main point is, even without going to that kind of detailing, if you want to go to your natal horoscope, just look at the relationship between your Lagna Lord Jupiter and your 10th Lord Mercury in your natal horoscope. Are they conjunct? Excellent. Are they in mutual Kendra relationship? Very good. Are they in mutual trinal relationship? Very good. But if they are not in these relationship, if they are in 6 at 12 axis to each other, it is again adding on to the complexity. So what is the takeaway from this video? How do you ensure that your luck start to favor you when it comes to your career? Before you apply for a new job, before you get into any such activity like initiation of your new venture, new business, new project, before you get into any critical discussion pertaining to your career, like your appraisal discussion, some engagement with your senior partners, some senior stakeholders, shareholders, any critical activity pertaining to your career. Before that, you have to pray to Sri Venkateshwara. Do you need any specific mantras? If you're aware about any mantra applicable to your natal horoscope, use that. Otherwise, fold your hands, close your eyes, think about Sri Venkateshwara, ask for his blessings. With devotion, merely by asking for the blessings from Sri Venkateshwara. And with your devotions and faith, you will get those blessings. And those blessings will do away with the obstructions. It will open up the ways for you. It will remove this inimical relationship between your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord. It will help you and give your career a new direction. It will activate the luck in your favor so that your career related activities will start to work in sync with your expectations. Okay? Best wishes. Capricorn ascendant. So my friend, how is your career? How is your work? You want a good work-life balance when it comes to work. Though your Lagna Lord, Saturn, will prompt you to work hard, as you are aware, but at workplace, you desire it to get a nice work-life balance. You don't want to slog that much, but your Lagna Lord prompts you to work hard. That's a different story. And for you, work environment is very, very important. For you, work culture, respect is very important. And you also want to look good at your workplace. Hey, you are lauded by Saturn as Lagna Lord. I am talking about good looks and all these things. Which is your 10th house? Libra sign. Who is the Lord of Libra? Venus. When we talk about your work, we have to look at the 10th house and 10th Lord as well. And as a next step, how is the relationship between your Lagna Lord Saturn and your 10th Lord Venus? Saturn considers Venus as his friend. That's good. And Venus considers Saturn as friend as well. It's a mutually friendly relationship. Excellent. That's excellent. So it is like you as Lagna Lord is you. You're supporting your career, your 10th Lord, wholeheartedly. You're giving a lot of space to your career. You're devoting time to ensure that your career does well. At the same time, your career is also supporting you because it is considering Lagna Lord as friend. It is supporting you and giving enough confidence that yes, you're fine. You might be facing challenges at your career, right? That's a different story. I'll talk about the challenges and solution in a while. But before that, not only Venus as a 10th Lord is engaging with your Lagna Lord in a nice friendly relationship, Venus is also your Yoga-karak planet. Venus is your 10th Lord as well as 5th Lord. So it's a mutual Lord of Kendra and Kona trines. So it's a Yoga-karak planet. It should bless you. It will bless you when it comes to your career, when it comes to your life in general. But the challenge is coming from Mars. Because Mars is the Lord of your 11th house. Scorpio sign, your Badak Rashi. As the Badakesh, Mars is causing obstruction in your career, in your life. Now, I agree, we need to evaluate the planets in natal horoscope. Need to look at the dasha, look at the ongoing transit. Everything is important. It'll add color to the analysis. But the thing is, if at all you want to go to the natal horoscope, you do one analysis, simple analysis. You look at how is your natal Saturn is placed vis-a-vis your natal Venus. Your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord. Are they conjoined? Excellent. Are they in mutual kendra to each other? Very good. Are they mutual trines to each other? Very good. But are they 6, 8, 12 to each other? That's a challenge. It will add to the complexity. So what is the takeaway from this session? See, you need to do something simple, Vedic way, which will actually activate the luck in your favor when it comes to your career, which should remove the obstruction caused by the Badak planet, which should ensure that your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord work in synchronization. Though it is currently in friendly relationship with your Lagna Lord, still your Lagna Lord itself is natural malefic. Lagna Lord does favor, still it is natural malefic. Depending on the position in your natal horoscope, I don't want to take risk. Let me share with you a simple Vedic remedy. Before you get into any important discussion related to your work, before getting into a call, engaging your appraisal discussion with your senior partners, any kind of discussions, before you apply for a job interview, before you get into interview discussions, before you do any activity like floating a venture, any kind of important activity, if you do a simple prayer to Ganesh, it will be really helpful. You don't need to do any recite any specific mantra. Unless you're aware of a mantra applicable to your natal horoscope, you can use that. Otherwise, fold your hands simply, close your eyes, think about Sri Ganesha and pray to Sri Ganesha for his blessings. His blessings sought with devotion and faith will come to you, will reach you. And his blessings can actually remove the obstructions. will ensure that luck start to favor you, to support you in career related matters. Okay? Best wishes. Aquarius ascendant. So how is your work, my friend? How are you at work? You work with a lot of passion. You bring a lot of enthusiasm at your workplace. Your approach to work is quite logical. But the challenge sometimes your risk-taking abilities or your unplanned activities, these are the areas where you need to manage yourself carefully at workplace. Let us first evaluate the relationship between your Lagna Lord Saturn and your 10th Lord Mars. While Saturn considers Mars as enemy, but Mars considers Saturn as neutral. So mutually the relationship is inimical, which is kind of a Cold War kind of a situation. While your Lagna Lord, that is you, is not giving enough space for your career to flourish, because you are looking at your career Lord as an enemy. So if you look at your actions in your life, historically, you would have taken such actions which were not fully supportive for your career. So that's where you need to control your risk-taking abilities or your unplanned activities primarily. But your career Lord, which is Mars, is actually neutral for you, for your career, which is kind of okay. At the same time, if you look at carefully, your ascendant is only one of two such ascendants in the entire 12 ascendants, right? Where Mars is kind of quite helpful for your career. Why? See, your 10th house is Scorpio. You count from Scorpio to Aquarius, your Lagna. Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, 4th. Lord of Scorpio is Mars. If you put Mars in Scorpio, your Lagna is 4th. And what kind of aspects does Mars carry? 4th aspect, 7th aspect, and 8th aspect. So with the 4th aspect, your 10th Lord Mars is aspecting your Lagna, is protecting the Lagna. It is protecting your career, giving strength to your career. But the challenge is coming from Venus. Because for you, Venus is your 9th Lord. Your 9th house is Libra. That is your Badhak Sthan. And the Lord of that house, that sign is Venus. Venus as a Badhakesh is causing obstruction in your life and in your career at different junctures. But hey, the good news, Venus is also your Yoga-karak planet, because Venus is Lord of your 4th house as well as your 9th house. It is mutual Lord of trines and Kendra. So it will try to cut through the Badhakesh impact. As long as your Yoga impact is activated, that is also another story. But overall, what is the takeaway from this session you can carry? How you can ensure, what simple Vedic remedy I can tell you, which can help you to activate your luck in your favor pertaining to your career activities. So before you take any important decision or discussion related to your career, like getting into a discussion with your supervisor for appraisal or with your senior stakeholders, senior partners, right? Or before even applying for a new job, before getting into any interview discussion, before starting a new business, starting a new venture, you have to pray to Hanumanji. If you are aware of a specific mantra applicable to your horoscope, you can use that mantra. Otherwise, simply fold your hands, close your eyes, think about Hanumanji, ask from his blessings. If you seek his blessings with devotion and faith, you will get it. And his blessings will ensure to take away the obstruction from your horoscope, to ensure that luck start to support you more when it comes to your career. Okay? Best wishes. Pisces ascendant. So my friend, how is your work? How do you work? How do you behave when you are at your workplace? You put in a lot of knowledge at your workplace. You start your work with a lot of knowledge. You acquire knowledge and put that knowledge into practice. You are a person who approach the work with a vision. You know what you are doing. And you are a go-to person at your workplace. A go-to person. People reach out to you to take your opinion, to take your suggestions, so that they can do the work in a better way. How do we evaluate it better? To do that, we need to look at the mutual relationship between your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord. In your case, your Lagna Lord is Jupiter and your 10th house is Sagittarius, and Lord of Sagittarius is again Jupiter. So your Lagna Lord and 10th Lord is one and same, Jupiter. So basically, when we try to evaluate the relationship between Lagna Lord and 10th Lord, it is one planet, which is excellent relationship. It is wow. So you are dedicated to your work. It is called an immersive experience. When you are at work, you are wholeheartedly at work. You're doing the right thing for the right reason. That's immersive experience. Nobody can deter you from doing your work. Okay? Now, problem. If it is such an immersive experience, then why are you facing challenges in your work front? The problem is coming from Mercury. That's your 7th Lord. For a Pisces ascendant, 7th house is the Badhak Sthan. 7th Rashi is Virgo. The Lord of Virgo is Mercury. That is Badhakesh. It is causing obstruction in your life, in your career at different junctures. If you evaluate the relationship in your natal horoscope between your Lagna Lord and your 10th Lord, which is Jupiter, how do you evaluate the relationship in your natal horoscope? That itself is not easily done because it's one planet. So to do that, you have to look at the position of Jupiter in your horoscope, in your natal horoscope. If Jupiter is posited nicely, nice houses, Kendra, Kona, etc., or in good dignity, like exalted, own house, have some strength, it will support you. But at the same time, when Mercury, the transiting Mercury will pass through your 10th house, which is Sagittarius, which is your Badhakesh, it can trouble you. We are not looking at your individual horoscope, analyzing in detail all the natal planets, planetary positions, dasha, ongoing transit. No. But still, what kind of takeaway can you get from this session, this video? What can you do in a simple way, in a Vedic way, which can activate your luck in your favor in career-related activities? So before you do any important career-related activity, like before you even apply for a new job, before you join a new job, before you launch a venture, a business, before you get into a discussion with your supervisor, like appraisal discussion, or any important strategic business discussion with your shareholders, with your senior partners, any critical activity linked to business, you need to pray to Shri Vishnu. You don't need to have any mantras. It is very difficult to get specific mantras of Shri Vishnu. Just close your eyes, pray to Shri Vishnu, fold your hands. With your devotion and faith, you can actually seek the blessings. It will reach you. And those blessings can actually remove the obstructions from your horoscope pertaining to your career. It can ensure that luck starts to favor you more pertaining to your career. Okay? So best wishes. With this, I'll wish you once again a very happy and prosperous Deepavali to you and your loved ones. And I put an end to this video. I'll see you soon with some other video. Till then, Om Namah Shivaya.